Hey, what's going on? Dan Bradley here, and thanks ever so much for checking out this video. Now, this is part one of a three-part series where we're going to be talking about the reason most people fail online. Now, if you've tried creating your own products, digital products, physical products, or maybe you've tried affiliate marketing and you've not got the results that you've wanted, then pay attention to this three-part video series because it's going to help you out massively. Now, before we go any further, make sure you subscribe to this channel, you've clicked that bell notification so that you get notified about when parts 2 and part 3 are going to be made available for you. Now, what I want to do in this session is I want to talk about the difference between what makes somebody great at selling their products or at selling digital products compared to everybody else. And it's a very simple three things. It's the hook, the story, and the offer. Now, what am I talking about? I'm talking about, first of all, let's break this down. So hook, story, offer. Hook. What is it that's going to hook somebody in? What is it that's going to make them pay attention to your message? Okay, so if you're in the weight loss niche, how are you going to hook them in? What emotions can you get on? What sort of fears do your customers have? How are you going to hook them in to your message? And the great hook makes the rest of it really, really easy. Now, you've got to remember, in this day and age, we're in 2019 now, and there is an absolute huge amount of adverts, okay? We see adverts everywhere. When we're traveling, if we're driving our car, you see billboards, we see them on the tubes, we see adverts everywhere. We're on digital platforms, mobile, on the computer. If you're watching a video on YouTube here, you may see an advert. Adverts are everywhere. Everyone these days is overexposed to brands, which means your job as an entrepreneur, as a marketer, is to really get your message out to the world. And that is not easy. But if you can create an amazing hook that just entices your audience, gets them involved, basically gets them to buy into you, you are 80% of the way there into getting that sale. So that's the first thing. You need to get their attention with a great hook. Part 2. Hook, story, offer. Part 2, story. What is the story behind you? Why should people choose to listen to you? Why should they buy from you? Why should they really even care about you? And this story section is what so many people are missing. Okay? If you're going to go into affiliate marketing, I see it all the time. You see affiliate marketing, for example, and they say, hey, if you want to pick up this product, go ahead and grab this product here. If you want to, right? It gives no value. There's nothing about it there at all. There's no story. There's nothing that's going to get people involved. And that is what the story is all about. You need to create a story to get people involved. If you get the right hook, so the hook is going to stop people in their tracks, make them pay attention, then you have the right story that's going to build that rapport, get people to believe and to trust in what you're saying. The offer really doesn't matter so much. You can almost sell them anything. All right, now what I want to show you is an example here of exactly what I'm talking about. So this guy is called Drew Manning, okay? He is the guy behind Fit to Fat to Fit. Now, the reason why I want to use his website and his product as an example, this is a guy who's in the weight loss niche, he's into keto, and if you think about how many thousands of products there are in this space, how many thousands of people are trying to do the same sort of things, and let me tell you, 90% of them are failing. 90% of them are not doing their products justice. What this guy did was incredible. So what he was is, if you're not aware of the Drew Manning story, if you're not aware of who he is, he basically was a fit guy, he was a fitness instructor, and he was also having trouble selling some of his programs. So he said, right, I'm going to now go and get fat for 6 months. So he basically put on loads of calories and he basically became really fat. Then he flipped that and he went again to lose that weight and to lose that weight and go back to being fit again. Now, why does that work? Well, because basically one of the biggest objections that people have, particularly with people in the weight loss niche, is, well, you've never been where I've been. So many of these people who are, they've got weight loss products, they've got healthy living products, they've never actually been fat. And really, it's all about body type, okay? I'm sure you have that friend who can always go and eat, they can eat pizzas and burgers and everything, all of the fatty food, all the junk food that we know is bad for us. and never put on a single pound. And then there's me over here, I go and eat a chicken salad and I've just put on 2 kilos, right? So that is kind of what a lot of people think about, and they say, hey, look, your program looks great, but you don't know what it's like to be fat. You've never been fat. You've never been in this position. So this guy said, right, I'm going to go and I'm going to consume all these calories and I'm going to become basically fat. And then I'm going to lose this weight so I can experience that journey in how to lose weight. And now that, when he's now come to the end of that, and again, he's obviously fit, that is an amazing hook. Okay, the hook there basically is, I was fit, I became fat, and now I'm fit again, right? That's going to hook people in. Then the story, well, I realized that I didn't know what it felt like to be a fat person. I realized I didn't know what it felt like to have to lose the weight and to go through that process. So I put on all this weight so that I could then go ahead and lose it. And I think that is really such an amazing, powerful story because, people now who look at this product say, well, hey, fair dues, this guy knows what it's like to be fat. He went through that process. Not only did he go through that process, he put himself in that process because he wanted to discover what it would really take. And that builds up so much trust. And this guy now is doing millions of dollars, right? This guy absolutely is towards the top of that industry, and he's making a great amount of money from it. And why? Because he has that hook and that story. Now, if we talk about some of the offers, okay, so he has a book, he has a keto book, he has some sort of keto supplements. How many companies have keto supplements, right? How many people have books? Lots of people have those things. Why is this guy successful? Because he has a great hook, a great story. It's not even so much about the offers. In fact, there's so much he could do with his offers that would make them even better. But when you look at this as the, just what he has there is his hook, what he has there is his story, and the reason that people trust him, it's pretty epic. Now, what I want you guys to go away is think about within your own products that you've got, your own businesses, maybe even inside of affiliate marketing if that's what you're wanting to promote. Why are people interested in you? Why should they be interested? Why should they listen to you? And why do you deserve their attention? And that's what we really have to think about as entrepreneurs and as marketers is how do we get that attention? Think of what that hook is. All right, whatever your product is, guys, it doesn't matter what your product is. It doesn't matter if your product is the most boring product in the world, find a hook. Everybody has a reason to need to buy a product, okay? Whatever that reason is, that's the emotion. That's what you want to play on. All right. So, for example, another successful person that we can talk about is basically it was another fitness instructor. She was actually on TV, and what happened was she had a bit of an accident while she was there because she had a baby, and she's made a whole lot of money now from this because she's rather than trying to cover up this embarrassing accident, she says, "Look, this is what happened to me." Because I was a new mother, and I know that this is affecting lots of new mums. So, this is a program that I use basically to strengthen pelvic floor and all that sort of stuff. And again, that's her story. That's what happened to her. And she's playing on the fact, she's saying, look, new mums, if you're about to become a mum, or if you have just become a mum, this can happen. It's completely normal. It's completely natural. So you don't need to be scared about it. But I know that you're not going to want this to happen, okay? So let me help you. Let me show you what I did that worked for me, and let's work together so you don't have to go through what I go through. And that is exactly what you need to do for your business. Think about a hook that's going to get people in. Think about the story. If you don't have a story, you need to create a story, okay? This guy, Fit to Fat to Fit, didn't have a story. When he first started, there was no story. So he created his story because he went to being fat, and then he went back down to being fit. He created that story. That story wasn't there. He created that story. Obviously, you want a story that's real, that's actually happened. You don't just want to lie about it. But create a story. Create your own story that's going to define what you're doing, define your products. Okay? Hook, story, offer, guys. That is one of the ways that separates the people who are getting great success online and the people that are not. So, whatever your product is, final takeaway, whatever your product is, make sure that you are doing whatever it takes to get a great hook, a great story, and then you can hit them with that offer. Right guys, I hope you've enjoyed this really quick training. I'm trying to keep them all down below 10 minutes. That is kind of the goal here. 10-minute quick bursts of information. I could go on for hours and hours about this hook story offer and how you can really get into marketing things. But if you like the sound of all that information there, make sure you subscribe to this channel and click that bell for part 2 and part 3 of this series. If you're looking to work with me individually and you're looking to come on board with my coaching or my Inner Circle program, you should see some information down below this video. You can go check out the links there, and I would love to work with you and help you get your product out to the masses, get found in the market, and get some amazing results. Wherever you are guys in the world, I hope you're having an amazing day, and I will speak to you soon. For now, Bradley out. Bye for now.